Hey, what's up, folks? This is Jonathan Coates, and in today's free training, I'm going to be talking about Google Tag Manager and how to set it up and put it on your website, what it is, and what the different terminology is for. So, like for an example, triggers, variables, containers, all of these different terms we're going to find in the Google Tag Manager, and we need to understand them in order to move forward and do stuff like add different functionalities to our website, such as a social sharing button, or we want to identify what a user has done, or if we want to add stuff for marketing purposes like Google Optimize, so we can split tests and run different A/B tests, or if we want to track different things using Google Analytics and we're able to tell if a visitor has made such a certain action on our site, they clicked on a certain link, or we can do a lot of things with Google Tag Manager. And so I'm going to break that all down in this video. So to get started, if you don't know it, Google Tag Manager is basically a place where you can centralize all of the different tags on your website. And a tag is basically just a snippet of JavaScript. It's some code that essentially a liaison between your website and whatever property you're using. So it makes things so much easier because without Google Tag Manager, you have to manually add different tags to your website, like Facebook Pixel, or say if you're using a third-party website and they say, hey, add this tag to your site so that you can do certain things that they require you to do. So Google Tag Manager actually helps you to put it all in one location, have it all in an area where you can manage it, and then also you don't have to add each individual tag, like each code for each individual tag to your web page. You can just put it all in one container in your Google Tag Manager and then manage it from there. So before we move forward, there's a couple other terms that you should know. So you hear things like tags, which again is just some code that helps you to add different functionalities to your website or track certain things or be able to accomplish certain objectives. And it acts as a liaison between your website and whatever property you're using. And then the next term that you'll hear a lot within a Google Tag Manager, variables and triggers. So triggers is basically something you can use within Google Tag Manager to accomplish these certain objectives. So for an example, 5 years ago when I was adding Google Tag Manager to my thank you page, I wanted to track how many people from my opt-in page have actually opted in and put their email address, because I knew if someone landed on my thank you page, then that means that they put their email address in. So I wanted another way to track that other than just seeing the subscribers come in from Aweber. So one thing that I would do is I would add a Google Tag Manager, or I'll add the Google Analytics tracking code to my thank you page. And then I would add other different triggers, like for example, if they would exit out before a video was finished playing, or if they scrolled down and they didn't scroll all the way down, they just stopped and went to a certain part and then exit out and did something else. I wouldn't have known that information had I not put in different triggers and variables. So a variable is basically a placeholder for information that we can use to help us in Google Tag Manager. So there's custom variables that we can create ourselves, and there's built-in ones, and we can use these in Google Tag Manager for stuff like capturing information from a visitor that's clicked on a certain link on, or say, our sidebar of our website. And we can do different things to help in Google Tag Manager with variables. So I just wanted to share with you those different two terms, because inside of a container, you actually have all of that in there. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go to Google Tag Manager, and we need to go ahead and create and add our site to it. So this is the main dashboard here. And what I'm going to be showing you is how to add it to your website. Now, whether you're using WordPress or if you're using like a .html page editor, I'll show you how to do it on both of them. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set up our account. Now, mine is already created, but I'll show you what it looks like when you create a new tag. So when you're on this dashboard here, you'll see where it says new tag. Just click on that. And then over here is where you go ahead and configure and create a tag. So the first thing we'll do is we'll name our tag. In this case, I'm going to call it health and fitness, because the website that we're using is one called Health and Fitness Tips. So now we go ahead and just choose a tag type. So from here, I'm just going to use GA4 configuration, which is the new Google Analytics. And we need to have this one for what we're using in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and click on GA4 configuration. And then what I want to do is I want to put my measurement ID in. So I get this from our Google Analytics dashboard. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. So from here on Analytics, the GA4 dashboard, down here where it says data streams, you just go ahead and click on this and it'll take you to this page here. So in order to get the measurement ID, basically you just have to add a stream. If you don't have one, you just come in here and select no web, Android, or iOS, create a stream, and then you'll get a measurement ID. Now, I haven't set this one up for a while, but this is what the measurement ID is right here. So you click on this, then you take this and you go ahead and put it in your tag manager. So I'm just going to go ahead and click paste. So now what we need to do is we need to just choose a trigger to make this tag fire. So in this case, what we're going to do is just click on all pages so that we're able to track the data on all of the pages on our website. So I just click on that and then I'll click on save. Now, what I'm going to show you now is how to add this to your website. So I'll show you how to do this with WordPress. Now, on your WordPress dashboard, all you got to do is on the left-hand side where it says plugins, just go ahead and click on add new. And then what we're looking for is Google Sitekit. Now, this is going to help us to add Google Optimize, Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, all to our page. So I just go ahead and type in Google Sitekit. Once this comes up, we'll just go ahead and click on install now. And then once it's done installing, we click on activate. Now we can just go ahead and start the setup. So we click on start setup and it'll take us to this page here. And what we need to do is we need to connect Google Analytics. So we click on this check mark here and then we're going to go ahead and sign in. So I'm going to click on sign in. So once we get to this page, we just want to make sure that these two boxes are checked here. That way we're able to view and manage the search console data for our verified sites and then manage the list of sites and domains that we control. So we just want to make sure that those are checked. That way we can do what we're trying to do in this video and then click continue. And then from here, we can just verify the ownership of our website. So I'm going to go ahead and click on verify here. So after we're done clicking on verify, we just turn on the metrics in our dashboard to show the metrics. So we just click on allow and then we set up the search console. So to see how people find our site on Google search, we want to have Google add health and fitness tips to search console for us and then connect it to Sitekit. And so we'll click on setup and we're done. So we can go ahead and go to the dashboard and it's going to take us back to WordPress for health and fitness tips. So from here, now we need to set up Google Analytics. So we'll click on this and then we go ahead and sign in. And then we come down and click on continue. So from here, we just select our account. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Jonathan Coates. And then the property that I'm going to be using is GA4. So UA would be Universal Analytics. We're just going to be using the new one here. So I'm going to take that one and then click on the specific property that I want is Jonathan Coates. And it's telling me that I need to connect the Universal Analytics property. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. So GA4 Universal Analytics, that one specifically, not just the one that says UA. And then I want all website data. So from here, I'll go ahead and click on configure analytics. We'll need to grant Sitekit permission to create a new analytics for measurement ID for this site. All we gotta do is just click on proceed and then sign in. Go ahead and go down, click on continue. And that's it. Now we have Google Analytics. So what we need to do now is enable Google Tag Manager. So from here, we just click on OK, got it. So what we need to do now is set up Tag Manager. So all we got to do is just on the left-hand side where it says Sitekit, go down to where it says settings, click on that. And then from here, we'll go to connect more services. And then we'll click on where it says Tag Manager. Now I'm going to also cover Google Optimize and Google AdSense in separate videos. So be sure to check that out. But for now, we'll just go ahead and click on Setup Tag Manager. Now, from here, all we got to do is just sign in, and then we choose the account that we're using. I'm going to click on my name, and then the property that I have, the container that's already created in there, and then I'll click on Confirm and Continue. And boom, that's it. We have Tag Manager and Google Analytics connected to our website. Now, I just want to show you real quick, if you're not using WordPress, what it looks like on an HTML page editor. So I'm using Composer, and this is just an example page. But at the top, you want to make sure that you have that first tag from Google Tag Manager right after the header, one of the first pieces of code that you have in there after the header on the source document. So, and then that second code that they give you, you want to put it before the body. So for an example, it'll look like this. This would be the first code, and then you have like the second code here. And that's basically how you do it. So there's a little bit more going on here. It's a little more technical, but it's really not that difficult. If you basically just follow the instructions, you just got to put it right after where it says head, you put the first code, and then before the body is where you put the second code. All right. So yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this video. I hope you enjoy. If you like content like this, then I highly recommend that you check out my website in the description, jonathancoates.net. You'll see it. I talk about everything when it comes to increasing sales and generating more traffic. And also be sure to look at the tools and the resources below, as I'll be including everything that I covered in this training here. And with that said, I will see you in the next video. See you then.